Hello everybody and welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. I am so excited that you're watching this video because today we are doing a pick a card on your divine mission and purpose. So if you're looking forward to figuring out what it is you're meant to do in the world and who you are meant to be, then this will be the video for you. And I also wanted to share that today's video is sponsored by Keen, and it's very special because it's actually World Astrology Day on March 20th. And I wanted to share a personal story and anecdote about my experience with Keen and also why I think astrology is so beneficial. So many of us feel a little bit lost at times, and it's a very helpless feeling, and that can be frustrating. But when I feel this way, usually I like to consult astrology and just understand what is happening in my chart. And as many of you know, astrology is something that we've been using for over 2,000 years. So for those of you who aren't aware, Keen has an amazing and very accurate astrology service. So I got my own reading with a reader named Sharad, who gave me advice on my chart, where I am in my career, and also gave me some really helpful advice to scale and grow my business. So I was really appreciative of that. And just remember that when you're using Keen, there are readers online available to you 24/7. So if you're feeling like you need a little bit of clarification or guidance, I highly suggest checking them out. So listen, to get your first 10 minutes on Keen, it's only $1.99, and you can use my personalized link, which I'm showing on the screen right now. And in honor of World Astrology Day, I highly recommend that you try an astrology reading and see what your advisor has to say. So go ahead, get your first 10 minutes, use my link. It's on the screen. It is also in the first line of the description box below. And without further ado, let's get into your reading today. So today we are working with 4 different piles. Over here we have pile 1 with the Malachite, pile 2 with the rough turquoise, pile 3 with the pyrite, and lastly, pile 4 with the lapis lazuli. So take a moment and decide which pile speaks to you most. And once you've got that, you can fast forward using the timestamps below and get your own personal reading, and I will see you there. Thank you so much. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So your first card is the Knight of Swords, and I'm going to shuffle a little bit more so we can find out what your divine purpose and mission is. We have the 4 of Cups, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the 3 of Cups. A lot of cup cards. I'm also going to pull a couple cards from the Angel Answers Oracle deck today. So let's see what comes through. You have Ask Your Angels, and you also have Don't Stop. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm hearing from your spirit guides is part of your divine purpose and mission is to be a very clear communicator. I feel like you have something to share with the world. It feels like a very important message and something that you are meant to share on a broader scale. And part of the reason I'm saying this is because when we see the Knight of Swords here, swords tend to be about communication, decision making. They are fairly active. And to me, it feels like you have a lot of logic and you're able to explain things in a very clear way. And I feel like a lot of you might have a bit of a humanitarian bent or might feel like it is part of your purpose to help society do things in a new way. So this can manifest in many different forms. Perhaps you work in a startup, perhaps you have your own company, perhaps you're really passionate about running marketing campaigns. Whatever it is, my feeling is that you're trying to get a lot of people on board with your divine mission. And I have the feeling like you're trying to improve the health of society. And I'm using the word health in kind of broader terms here. So you might actually do something regarding physical health. Like for example, you might work with plant-based foods or supplements, but I'm also feeling like health can also apply to a whole system, like how an organization is run, how the government is run, all of those things. And your spirit guides are saying there are different people in this group, so it falls under the category of basically making people and things more healthy. So we have the Four of Cups here, and when we see the Four of Cups, this is a little bit about apathy. So I have a feeling like you're not very happy with how things are run in our society today. Again, I understand that's a very broad statement, but for you in particular, this would apply to a certain industry or a certain line of work. For example, you might be really upset with how education is run and how it doesn't do enough justice for children and how children are very underserved by our current educational system. And so when I'm seeing the Four of Cups and the Knight of Swords, I know that you have a divine mission to change this and to be the person who is leading the pack, so to speak. So I have this feeling like you are the one who wants to charge ahead. You want to publicize your idea, you want to make it known. And I keep hearing the word campaign, so I wouldn't be surprised if either you run marketing campaigns or you even get grassroots groups together trying to campaign for a certain cause. And I'm getting that you truly believe in your mission. And I also feel like you get a lot of traction because the Knight of Swords is somebody who charges ahead, and often other people follow them and other people really admire them. So part of your mission is to be the organizer and the leader. And I do feel like you collaborate with other leaders as well, and it's not only you all the time, but to me, you are the one who's organizing it, you are the one who's running most of the details. I keep seeing Facebook groups in my mind, so even if you think of things like the Women's March, which was organized, I have this feeling like you want to organize really big events, big things that are changing society. Even if it's simply to express your dissatisfaction with how society is being run at this point in time. And again, this applies to a specific industry or a specific line of work, whether it's education or nonprofits or whatever. You're not super happy with how it's being run currently. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We also have the Three of Cups. So community is very important to you. It's very important to get a lot of people on board with your mission. And again, I see you doing this. I see you generating a following, not so much because they're following you in particular, but rather because of what you stand for. You stand for a better world. You stand for a world that is more fair, more just, more collaborative, more unified. You stand for people working together. And I'm also hearing the word union, and you can think of that in two ways. Number one, it could actually be like a union, like for example, making sure people get fair wages, or it's also union in terms of collaborating in a community. So I know that your mission is not something which is completely individualistic or solo, rather you're doing this with a group of people and you are working to bring society up a notch, so to speak. With the Ace of Pentacles here, I have a strong feeling like you're going to be very successful. Some of you not only are engaged in speaking and talking, but also writing books, campaigning for sure, whether it's grassroots, having to do with the government, politics, running marketing campaigns, all of the above can apply to this group, so take what resonates with you. I'm also hearing that you are very tuned in, but you can be a little bit of a workaholic sometimes. Your angels want you to reach out to them, ask them for help, ask them for guidance. I feel like they're really trying to communicate with you and trying to help you get more clarity on your next step. So sometimes it's hard for you to see the forest through the trees, and your angels are saying they're going to help you with this. They don't want you to stop. They want you to keep going. They really like your speed and your momentum, which is coming through twice here, especially with this Knight of Swords energy. But sometimes they can help you be a little bit more tactical so you don't get lost in the details. Especially for those of you who are organizing events, I get that there are many details. I feel like you're tracking attendances, you're tracking locations, you're having to organize where to get people together. A lot of effort around building community here, but I feel like it can be overwhelming, and I feel like at times you can get annoyed by the fact that there's so much operational stuff here as opposed to just focusing on the mission and the community. So I feel like your angels are going to provide you with a different way to view this, a different lens to look at this situation and figure out how you can be even more effective and active in your community. So make sure that you are calling them in. I predominantly am seeing this through meditation. So I'm feeling like when you meditate, it's a really cherished time for you because you're able to quiet your mind. You're able to get those downloads and those thoughts that you wouldn't otherwise. Because I do see you living a very busy life and a life where other people are relying on your leadership ability. So people see you as a leader, and to a certain extent, you feel like you can't slip up and like you can't stop being a leader. And so sometimes you think you can't take that quiet time, but your angels are saying, as long as you're spending 10-15 minutes a day in silence, in meditation, they will most definitely send you the signs that you need and the downloads so that you can keep going in a more strategic way. So this is your life mission and purpose. I hope that this helped you. I hope it gave you some clarity and guidance. Don't forget to use my link for your keen astrology reading. I hope you enjoy Astrology Day. It's one of my favorite days. And if you would like to work together, whether it be through a personal reading, joining one of my classes, manifestation circles, anything like that, you can get those details at the links down below. Thank you so much, and I will see you all very soon. Lots of love. Bye. All right, pile 2, welcome to your reading. So your first card is the Knight of Wands. And let's shuffle a little bit more and find out what your divine mission and purpose is. Okay, so you have the 8 of Cups. The 7 of Pentacles. Then you also have the 6 of Swords. And I will pull some Angel Oracle cards as well. Okay, we have Forgiveness. And we have Big Happy Changes. All right, so my intuition is telling me that a lot of people in this pile are artists, creators, innovators. I am actually seeing a paintbrush, I'm seeing museums, so I feel like many of you do art and are very concerned, and I'm putting the word concerned in air quotes, with how things are visually represented. So this could also manifest in design, whether that be user experience design, interior design, product design. I feel like art is very important to you. Now, if you're not resonating with the art part, I'm also hearing Reiki and energy healing is something that many of you are doing, especially because we have this card Forgiveness. And if you look at the imagery here, and I'll hold it up close, I believe this is actually Kuan Yin, and I'm seeing this beautiful rainbow light as a symbol of forgiveness and also as a symbol of working with energy. So if we look at these 2 cards alone, a lot of energy is flowing through these cards, and I feel like you have a huge capacity to help heal the collective. But I feel that you might start with doing this one-on-one, and then you might actually transition into a group format a little bit later on. But I am hearing that you're a healer, and this can manifest either through your artwork, whether it be visual or even writing. A lot of you might write, but it also manifests through working with your hands, specifically as it relates to sending energy. So things like Reiki, things like healing people's auras, sound healing, even practicing yoga. I feel like this is definitely the vibe of this pile. So let's talk a little bit more about your mission. So when we see the Knight of Wands, I have a feeling like you're supposed to energetically uplift people. That is your mission. Seeing the 8 of Cups also shows me that you are helping people shed the skins of things that do not serve them. So things that have been difficult, I'm hearing that you're going to help people let go of trauma. Some of you actually are in more of a psychology space, like working with behavioral therapy and coaching. And when we see this here, you help initiate people to go on their most spiritual path, because the 8 of Cups is all about moving away from things in order to go towards a more spiritual calling. The 6 of Swords is also very similar. So definitely seeing these 2 cards, and I'm putting them next to each other. These 2 cards are transition cards, meaning that you are meant to help people move towards their calling, their highest purpose, their truth. So your mission is to help other people find their mission, basically. And I feel that you do that through helping them lay the path. So whether that is through individual sessions, which to me are like planting the seeds like we see in the Seven of Pentacles, or whether it's through creating a plan for them. Whichever way this manifests, I feel that you are able to help other people find their highest vibrating essence. And it almost feels like by working with you, people get a taste of what their future could be. And a lot of the things that they need to learn are really things that you've worked on yourself. So how to honor yourself, how to honor your energy, how to be a good coach, how to hold space for yourself, how to take time to rest and relax and give yourself time and space for rejuvenation. So I'm hearing that all of these things are very important, and this is all part of your divine mission. One other thing that I think you're going to be really skilled at throughout your life and that you're going to help a lot of people with is actually collaborating. And I'm being shown that these different cups are kind of like calling in your community. So I feel that you help people kind of massage the relationships in their life. So especially if we're thinking about trauma, people might be carrying a lot of negative or darker energy as it relates to trauma, and that might affect their relationships with others. And I'm hearing that you're going to help them up-level their relationships and set better boundaries as well. But I do feel that you will help them with their communication as well, so that a lot of people who are drawn to working with you, they just don't know how to express their needs, and they don't think it's okay to express their needs. And I feel that whether you're working with them through more of like a talk therapy standpoint or even energy healing, you help them, first of all, understand their needs better and have more awareness around that. And second of all, communicate them so that other people in their life respect them and honor them more. Now, especially if you are more of an artist or in more of a collaborative space, I feel like part of your mission is also helping people understand how to spread their creativity through a community. So it doesn't always have to be one-on-one stuff. I feel like a lot of people want to work in a community to kind of up-level society together, and they might do this in a very healing way. So you might host healing events, for example, events where people come together and are able to share their passions and skills. So this would be another way that your divine mission and purpose can manifest. What your spirit guides are saying is that you really help people become comfortable with the uncomfortable. So things that they have wanted to turn a blind eye to, things that they've wanted to shove or push away, you help them bring it to the surface. And so again, this could be in many different modalities. You might do art therapy, you might do behavioral therapy, you might work with energy. Regardless of what you do, it's more about the core mission is to help people not shove things away, but rather face them. And once they have the awareness, they're able to chart a better path for themselves and create a life of more abundance and success. And I just want you to know that because you are so genuine with your mission and because you truly care about this, I see a lot of money coming to you, and I see your spirit guides really wanting to funnel a lot of monetary funds your way. And it might not all happen immediately, but I feel over time you're able to build a very lucrative career out of this, which is partly the big happy changes coming here. And I'm just hearing your spirit guides are very happy and supportive of you because you are helping to raise the collective vibration. So some advice that I have given many people recently is whenever you are trying to call in funds, especially monetary funds, making sure that you tell your spirit guides and angels what you're going to do with the money and why you need the money. So for example, you can say, I want to host this art therapy healing event because it's going to help people identify their trauma, release their trauma, and instill them with a more positive energetic vibration. So being really clear with the universe about why you need the money and what you're going to do with it, then that's going to help you get more money. And I do feel a lot of success and a lot of abundance for this group. And I feel that your life can actually change very quickly as well, because we have the Knight of Wands, and wands are all about action. So definitely a lot of creativity in this pile, and part of your mission is completely channeled. I feel like you have ideas and you're able to channel your ideas into your divine mission and purpose almost overnight. So really trusting the thoughts that you're getting, the downloads you're getting, your dreams. I'm being shown that you see visions sometimes, whether it be during dream state or in your waking state. And your spirit guides are sending you a lot of signs and clues on how to manifest these dreams and bring them into reality. And they really like that you are working with them, so to speak, to raise the collective vibration. So your work is very creativity and energy focused. So I just want to congratulate you for doing such an excellent job. You are truly helping society raise its collective vibration, and I'm really grateful for that. So are your spirit guides. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like a personal reading or to work together through coaching or some of my group offerings like manifestation circles and classes, you can get all of those details at the links down below. And I am going to send you off with so much love and light, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye. All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So if you picked the Pyrite, then this pile is for you. So your first card is the World, which is amazing. And we're going to pull a couple other cards here to figure out what your divine mission and purpose is. Okay, so you have the 9 of Swords. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the Lovers. And you also have the 7 of Wands. And I'm also going to pull a couple Angel Oracle cards. You got a year from now. And you have listen to your intuition. All right, so let's get started, and I am just going to go with whatever Spirit tells me today. So quick disclaimer, this pile is a little bit more tricky energetically because there's a lot of different energy here, and it is less easy to figure out what your divine purpose and mission is. And this might be something that you've actually experienced yourself, but hey, let's get started. We have the World. The World is showing that you are a very wise person. You have the ability to change things on a broad scale. And I feel that you have a very genuine heart. And also you are a very well-rounded person. Like you have read a lot. You've really focused on developing yourself. I have a feeling like you've really invested in your own personal and emotional development. And so I feel that you're a very strong communicator, and this makes you a good leader. And I feel at times perhaps you second guess yourself a little bit because we do have some anxiety bubbling up with the 9 of Swords. But for the most part, I don't see this as being a major issue. I feel it comes in ebbs and flows, but I feel for the most part that other people see you as being very admirable and somebody that they want to emulate, because I'm hearing that you're almost like somebody that they see and they're like, wow, I wish that I could be like that person, because you seem very collected and you also seem very conscious. So I'm going to say that your spirit guides have been working with you and channeling through you for a while, whether you know it or not. This could be something that you haven't been fully conscious of, but I really do feel like they are working with you and through you, which is beautiful. We also have some romantic vibes coming through here, which makes this reading very interesting. So Knight of Cups and the Lovers. So the Lovers, first of all, can apply to relationships or business, but it most definitely shows somebody who is very strong when it comes to partnerships. So let me talk about a couple of the ways in which this could manifest. One way is you might be really good at working with clients and customers. You could be in sales, you could be in customer acquisition, you could be somebody who has to help customers close out their sales tickets or their requests when they struggle with an issue. You could be somebody who is a coach, a healer, a guide. All of these things could apply to this pile. And honestly, probably all of them do, which is why the energy is so mixed. When we have the Knight of Cups, I'm confident that part of your mission very basically is to help other people feel good about themselves and about their interaction with you. You have an energy of helping to uplift people even when things are dark or depressing. For example, let's say that something really depressing is happening in our world, which we're all very familiar with, especially given the last couple of years. You're the type of person who's going to help other people feel like, you know what, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I can be positive. I can change my thinking and focus on the good, not the bad. So part of your mission is honestly to be a role model to help other people understand that by thinking more positive thoughts and by acting on those, they can actually lead a happier life. And I feel that this is something where you practice what you preach. So I feel like you're really cognizant of your thoughts and your thought patterns and how that affects your life. And I do feel like you are very well-rounded, like I said. So you might be involved in multiple different activities. Perhaps you do yoga, or perhaps you do outdoor sports, or perhaps you love hiking. Whatever it is, you're not just the type of person who does all work and no play. I feel like you're somebody who leads a very holistic and fulfilling life. And so in a way, your mission is very simple. It's for other people to be able to look at you and see you as a guide or a role model that they can emulate. And I just want to say, unlike other piles where your mission is all about your career or your work, that's not really the case for this pile. I feel that your mission does come up in that way as well, like I was talking about with these interactions over here, but it's more about how you live your life. You're very positive, you're hands-on. When you deal with a struggle or a challenge, you're not all doom and gloom. Yes, sure, you might suffer from anxiety once in a while, but for the most part, it's your way of life. It's your way of being that really helps other people feel uplifted and feel like there's hope. And they also feel like they can learn from you. So that's very important. And so I think a message that's coming through from your spirit team today is don't always equate your mission to your career, because part of your mission is simply your energy and how you're living your life. And every day when you're showing up as your beautiful, bright, authentic self is a day that you are teaching someone else how they can lead a more fulfilling life and how they can also have better energy. So thank you on behalf of everyone for doing that. I do feel some of you are on a journey to understand how can you channel this authentic essence into a career or into a path of mastery. Because what I'm getting from this pile is you really care about mastery, you care about wisdom. You're the type of person who wants to excel at the things that you do, and you would rather do a few things really well than do tons of things and not really do a great job at them. I feel your spirit guides are going to continue to give you clues, but they're going to get stronger over the next few months. And I'm hearing the next 4 to 6 months are very formative months for you. I feel you might come up with some ideas, especially as it relates to business, of how you can channel your essence into something that you can actually share with a broader population. And so definitely listen to your intuition, but also know that this will take some time to unfold, and there's nothing wrong with that. It will take probably up to a full year, because we have a year from now, for you to feel like you have found your path to mastery. And again, I want to encourage you to keep an open mind as you do this, because unlike other people where they say, okay, I'm going to major in XYZ and that's my mission, that's not really how it plays out for you. You are supposed to be a little bit more well-rounded than that, because your spirit guides are saying there are a couple twists and turns, but it's nothing crazy. It's still very fulfilling, and you're gonna potentially have a couple of career changes in your life, but it feels like everything fits together, and at the end of the day, it makes you more well-rounded and more of a better role model for others. And there is one other thing coming through, and I just want to address this before we close the reading. So we have the 9 of Swords and the 7 of Wands here. So there is an element of struggle, which is undeniable. Now, I feel part of this is in your own life, and part of it is actually what you help to heal in others. So what I'm feeling is that perhaps when you were younger, you might have felt very alone. Some of you might have dealt with depression or feeling like you have intrusive thoughts, is what your spirit guides are saying. And I think there's a part of you that worked so hard to heal that you can recognize it in other people, and you can recognize A, when they're having similar thought patterns, and B, when they don't have a community to help them. And so I feel that you are a healer for people, not necessarily in the sense of being a therapist, although some of you might be, but rather in the sense of you help them understand that they're not alone. And you are a really good role model for showing people that by changing your thoughts, you can change your life. Because I'm hearing that you're very inspiring to people, and people kind of fall in love with you. That's also why we have the Lovers here. People see you as almost like this divine counterpart, or this spiritual person who has come into their life and is showing them a new path and a new way of living and being. And when we see the Knight of Cups here, people will naturally feel like by meeting you, they have become very lucky because you're like this romantic, dreamy, ethereal influence in their life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody you meet has a crush on you, although I do think that you're very attractive, but it does mean more that they feel that you're showing them something which they haven't gotten before, and they feel very lucky to come into contact with you. So definitely, Knight of Cups and Lovers, a lot of appreciation coming through here and a lot of love, which I would classify in some cases romantic, but most certainly more as unconditional love. So I'm getting that you're very appreciated by all of the people in your life. So your divine mission and purpose is really to teach through your behavior, through your actions, through showing that positive thoughts can lead to a better, more fulfilling existence. Hopefully this helped you. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like to work together through either getting a personal reading, coaching, or doing some of my group events and group work, please use the links down below. And don't forget to claim your King reading. All right, lots of love and see you soon. Bye. All right, pile 4, welcome to your reading. So your first card is Justice, which is actually pretty clear already what your life mission is, but we'll get into it in more detail. So let's see what other cards come up. Okay, you have the 3 of Wands. Okay, the Page of Wands. And the King of Cups. Then I'll pull some Angel Oracle cards for you all. No. Remain positive. Wow, and no again. Okay. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to get this message out clearly. There are some of you where you're pursuing something that you feel like you have to do it. And the energy is almost like, I feel like I'm getting squeezed. I feel like I'm getting backed into a corner, and it's not very pleasing. It feels like a lot of pressure, and it feels like a lot of visibility as well. And I definitely feel like some people have very strong expectations for you to do this thing, whether it be taking a role, whether it be being in more of a visible leadership role, something along those lines. But I feel like your heart isn't in it and you know it. And it kind of feels like this type of thing where people in your life tell you, oh yeah, you should do this because you're going to be successful and this is the way for you to make money and get visibility and have a stable life. But I feel like your heart is just not there and your energy is just kind of blah. And so when we have no and no twice, this is a strong message from your spirit guides that if this thing does not feel right in your heart, and in your intuition, it is not the right path, it is not the right way to go. And remember, we have justice here. And look, when we think about justice, justice is not only about outcomes. It's not only about things like fairness and making money. It's also about, do you choose your intuitive path? Are you choosing the path that is most accurate for you? And if you don't, it is not truly just, because you're not serving the universe in the way that you are meant to. That's why we're talking about your divine mission, not just like your career mission or your money mission. So for this pile, I feel like the strong message is that the mission you have in your heart can be very different from the mission that other people have for you. And other people might have a different agenda for how they see your life unfolding and how they see you using your specific talents and skills. But I feel you have a mission in your heart that wants to be brought to the surface. And I'm feeling like in this group, a lot of us are having trouble really trusting our intuition and our heart, because a lot of people in our lives have many opinions, and the more they share their opinions, the more confusing it can get, and the more we can struggle with not knowing whether we're going in the right direction. But I'm going to say trust your intuition really, really strong, especially if you're feeling like this resonates, because justice will be served if you trust your intuition. But if you don't trust your intuition, and if you just do what it is that other people want you to do, it's going to be hard and you're going to feel backed into a corner. And the energy of double no is showing me you're not going to enjoy it either. So I'm just being honest. That's just what I'm getting. Of course, if none of this resonates, throw it away, be my guest. But for those of you where it's important and where it resonates, I feel this is very, very critical to listen to it. And also to know that even if your path doesn't seem 100% clear, remain positive, because sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. And sometimes your spirit guides are right there to catch you because you've taken the leap. And sometimes it's actually hard for them to come in if you're not trusting the universe to a certain extent, because you're signaling to the universe that you want this life of extreme structure and extreme order, and then they feel like they can't really insert themselves and they can't really give you messages. So just piece of advice or words of wisdom for this pile is to think about how can you trust your intuition more, and how can you invite your guides into your process. Because the truth is that from a spiritual perspective, you are constantly co-creating your life, and how you spend your time, where you put your energy, where your thoughts are, all of those things are co-creating with the universe. So try to work with the universe, not against it, because ultimately when we work against it, we end up working against ourselves. So we have the Three of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the King of Cups. So I feel you are emotionally very intuitive, very wise. I do feel this is a little bit untapped potential, so I would encourage you to tap into it more. When we see justice, you are meant to, first of all, find justice in your own life. That's part of your divine mission. But also I think you'll help others find justice. And the energy that I keep getting is this energy of feeling squeezed, like your energy is almost kind of repressed. And this applies to you, but also to others. I feel like you'll help other people understand when the people in their lives are trying to take them off track and not let them follow what's most authentic in their heart and their soul. And because you have most likely been through this yourself, whether it manifested in career or in a relationship, though all those times when you did what you thought you had to do instead of what felt right in your heart, I feel that you're going to use that experience to help other people find their divine path. So the energy in this pile is really interesting because it's almost like a pass it on energy. It's like you have dealt with a difficult situation where you had to find your true purpose. And some of you are still going through this situation now, but all of the people who are watching this reading will have experienced that, whether it's happening now or in the future, it's going to happen for everyone watching this. So what I know is that through that experience, you're going to be able to help other people find their clarity, their guidance, their path. Bear with me because this is a bit of a confusing thing to explain. We have the Page of Wands, King of Cups, and also Three of Wands here. So when we see the Page of Wands, I have a feeling like you're really trying to understand, how does my path manifest? How does it come into the 3D? So look, this is what your spirit guides are saying. You're meant to be a teacher. You're meant to be a healer. You're meant to be an innovator. Many of you are meant to write a book. These are all things that are coming up for you. I feel like many of you will undertake a studious path, like you're going to go back to school and try and undertake a specific discipline. I'm getting something along the lines of architecture, design, even carpentry is coming up. So it could be art in some form. And I feel like you will be successful at it, which is good. I also feel like part of your life purpose is to understand how to balance structure, order, and creativity. So not to push creativity to the side because you're a very creative person, but rather how to integrate the three. And I feel that you will find a way to do this. For example, if you create a beautiful carpentry piece or if you write a book, both of those activities take a lot of structure and order, but you need to be in flow in order to make that work. And so part of your life purpose is to figure out, how the heck do you do that? How do you balance those two things? It's a little bit tricky, but it's definitely something that you're able to do. I'm also hearing that travel is very important for this pile. So when we see justice, I feel like you're going to take your wisdom and what you've learned throughout your life to a broad population of people. Now, I can see you teaching in schools. I can also see you working in communities, but I feel a lot of you are like a master or like a craftsman. That's what your spirit guides keep saying. They keep showing you as this kind of craftsman energy where you have a specific skill or trait that you hone and you become really good in it. And it's actually through the selling of whatever that is that you're able to uplift society. And also that's how you find your personal justice. Now, this could be a product. It could also be a service. Let's pretend for a second that you have a jewelry shop, or like I said, you make candles or something along those lines. It's almost like what you're selling holds your energy in it. And people really like your energy and they like how wise they feel once they have that thing in their possession. So I definitely am seeing that for some of you, retail, whether it be making jewelry, whether it be selling something, you know, that's actually really beautiful for you and is a way for you to share your unique and your authentic essence with others. The King of Cups also shows that you absolutely love what you do. So I feel some of you are still trying to find it, and it doesn't always have to manifest in career, but I'm feeling like with the King of Cups, you have a lot of passion for this line of work, and it's something that you feel can genuinely help people, partly because you're just making their lives happier and you're helping them tune into their emotions more. So part of your divine mission is to figure out what is it that you're going to sell or commoditize so that people can understand how to have a happier life. And they're going to do that through the feeling that they get by working with you or buying from you. B, making sure that you are following your heart and your intuition, not just following your mind. That's really important. And C, I feel like you're going to spread this worldwide. So especially if you have your own business, I don't see you only operating in your country. I feel like you're meant to go far and wide. I'm being shown like traveling all the different continents, and I keep being drawn to Africa for some reason. So some of you might do business in Africa, get investment in Africa, something like that. I know there's a lot of countries there, so hopefully one of those will actually crop up in your path, which would be very exciting. So I definitely feel like you're meant to be a global presence, and you're meant to kind of help people understand things and come to the same page in a global way. This is not just something you do locally. This is something you spread across the world. Now, the tricky thing about this pile is some of you have a product that you're selling, and others of you are kind of just selling yourself, like your service, your consulting, your energy. So I want you to know both are possible. But regardless, I feel like part of your mission is just understanding what it is that you're meant to do, following your intuitive path. That is most important. And then B, helping other people find happiness through the product or service that you're selling. So I gave you some ideas. Comment down below if you are working on any fun projects so that we can all support you. I would love to send some good energy your way. If you like this reading, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like to get your keen astrology reading, make sure that you use my link down below. And we can also work together through either tarot readings, coaching, mentorship, manifestation circles, classes. So make sure that you check out my offerings down below, and I will look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.